Okay, the latch on my Nissan Frontier, I'm happy with it. So just to recap what happened, I had pulled up too hard on it and it broke on this side right here. And the reason is, well, no excuses, but I wasn't used to this cover being on, and the cover to seal it kind of comes over some of it. So you really need to pull up, but then up here kind of pull down. You can't just rip this back and it's going to fall. I mean, you can, but your chance of breaking it are much greater. So I could have bought a new part, either just that part or the whole thing. And they had said on the YouTube channel I was watching that you probably should just get the whole thing because there's little tabs inside of there, plastic tabs, and they're going to snap off most likely. And yes, very correct, they do snap off. But I thought, you know what, I don't really want to put that money into it. I'll just, if it does, and they probably will, I'm just going to screw it back on. Now these screws here are a mistake. It turns out I should have went up more or something, because this is part of the opening in the back and you can't screw into that. So these are just going into the plastic. They're not doing anything. These two, however, are holding. So I figure that's enough. I really don't. I can still open it one hand as long as I do it correctly and, you know, pull from right here, not the handle. Just unlatch it with the handle, but then pull from my top fingers. But two hands is better. So I'm happy with it. It's functional. I'll still be careful with it. I've trained myself to be careful with it, remembering that this is going to catch some. But I really love the cover. I love how it seals. It's great. I should have done this years ago. I had a hang up with them. I just didn't think they would work for what I do with firewood and everything, but totally wrong. It's just a matter of changing how you do things. And I should have done it. Oh well. We fixed the truck. The bed's still good. You can look back on videos where we put all new metal in it. And, you know, part of me thought the liner was going to save it. But in a way, the liner doesn't. In fact, it looks like there's some water in there now. But the water got underneath the liner, and then it was trapped because there was no holes. Now there is holes now, but there's not holes in the liner. There's holes in the metal underneath the liner. So that water should not do anything. And as soon as I drive it, which will be today a little bit, or at least move it, that'll come out. And normally it doesn't sit in there because normally I'm driving this truck. But either way, it's not going to bother the plastic. And it can't get stuck on the metal anymore. Okay, so I think I'll touch up this with paint. A little paint there, a little black, and might even put more paint on this to blacken that up. Although it looks kind of cool. Okay, so the next thing, might as well go right into that on the truck. We'll just call this truck rehab. So my power steering was leaking. Not a lot, just enough to be irritating. And if you look back on videos, we ended up changing the idler arm, which was, they told me was probably due to that leaking. But we're looking at, we're 20 years old here too. So either way, it's changed, new tires on. So I decided to try the stop leak on this vehicle. And I have it in my other truck. I'm going to get it out. We're going to pour some of that in, bring the reservoir back up, and we're going to find out what that does. Plus, they said that kind of helps the whole system. So if it stops a leak, helps the system, that'd be cool. I noticed this also this morning. It's a little loose here. So I'm going to put a metal thing on here, just like I did on the other side. Gonna do one of these, paint that up. I have this paint, it's a house paint, so that's real easy. And then, oh yeah, and then the most exciting thing, I didn't unlock the truck yet. We have a CarPlay system we're going to install. It does have a backup camera too, so That's going to be the challenge part. The rest of it, got that figured out. So we'll have another video about that. And I need to make a way to mount my backup camera. So just as I did on the Scion, I'm going to take a piece of aluminum, take my license plate off, make a piece that comes up and out so I can mount my camera on there. And I need to mount it low enough that this doesn't hit. So it can't really be higher than the license plate, but it can come out a little bit so I can mount it right in there. And then somehow I got to get the wires like through here and underneath. So that's the challenge. Let's I don't know if this plastic, I don't know how high this plastic, like, can I go right in there? I think I'm gonna have to try it and then make the hole big enough that I can get the wire through with the end on it. It's not just the wire, you have to get that end through. Okay, so got other tasks I'm working on, but this is my little side project right here. The Frontier. 20 years old, still looking great. I changed the oil and it sounds really good. Can't wait to try it with the new muffler system on, going up a hill where it's put under some stress. Driving on the flat, yeah, it sounds perfect. But going uphill is when I'm gonna be able to tell how much difference there is. Okay, back to work.